Hello, this is another video. This one's going to be on removing a radio, which is out of a Nissan Qashqai radio, which is, I'll show you the radio. That's the radio that was in the car. I wanted to fit a sat nav with the wireless, so I can get Android and you get CarPlay with it. Right, quick video on how I've started the job. I'm just going to give you a run through of what I've done. Right, to remove this, you need to remove the trim off the dashboard to get to the screw which is in there. There's one screw in there and there's one screw outside. Both these trims lift off. I'll show you the trim for the other side. I'll put it down somewhere, can't find it. There it is in the window. That's the trim for the other side, goes on there. They just pull off. All I did with the trim over the glove box was just lifted it off one end. You don't need to take the whole thing all the way off. You can get to the screw without pulling it all off. So I've just left it there, as you can see, flapping about. There's no point in taking it all the way off. Then the other side, you can start levering from the bottom, and you'll see the sort of clips there. If I show you the clips, they're metal clips like that. So you have to be quite brutal with them to pull them off. I put a little screwdriver under the bottom with a bit of insulating tape around it and prized it off, and it came free. So that's how I did it. You'll have a job to break them, really, to be honest. But there's 3 clips there, and there's one at the bottom, and they slide in, and there's a plastic luggy thing there. Anyway, that's how I got that off. Then what you have to do is you have to remove the screws that hold in the heater controls. There's 4 screws hold those in. If I can turn this round, I can show you the 4 screws. There's one there, one there, one on this side, and one up here. Undo those 4 screws, pull them out, then that will release the piece of plastic that holds on the heater, which I haven't got it here now. I'll put it somewhere. But anyway, and it's basically that bottom section there. So you're unscrewing this part. Let me zoom out. This part, you're moving this part out of the existing, because there are 2 parts, they're not in one piece. The radio part, you don't need to do anything with that. Well, not at the moment anyway. Whether the brackets can be used or not, I don't know. I'm just going to try. It's very much lighter. The new unit is actually very, very light, and it's not much to it behind. It's just all cables, if you can see. So that's this one. I've got so there's a sat nav aerial. I shall glue that up into the dashboard when I get round to it. At the moment, what I'm doing is I'm wiring up the reversing camera, so I'm going to carry on doing that. There's a USB lead there, which I need to connect up somewhere. I need to work out how the aerial connects up to this one. I've plugged it in, and there is all instructions for. This is a Chinese copy. This isn't a genuine genuine copy. So there is a. Tells you here what the wires are. Speed. I don't know where they go. It's parking brake. Again, I don't know what that does. I have to look at the instructions for that later on. Oh, here's the aerial here, which has got a connector like that on it. So I think what I have to do is connect. That came in the kit. Now I've got a feeling it looks the same fitting on there. I'm guessing that goes in there like that, which it does, and then that plugs in somewhere. So we'll see where that plugs in. Which obviously plugs into that one, which is let me unplug it and try. It obviously plugs into that one, which I should do when I've got 2 hands. Anyway, that's the aerial, I think. I'll show you how I rerouted the cable. So you've got the reversing light, you have to wire it into the reversing light. So what I've done is I started halfway down the car, to be honest. I started here in the middle, and what I did, I got a cable tie, a really thick cable tie, and I routed that through. I've taken this piece of plastic off. They just pull off these pieces of plastic. They're on like clips, and you just have to pull them up. There's that one there. There's the one here, sits on the front. They just pull off the front panel that goes where the petrol cap and the bonnet latches. There's one screwy one, which is up in there, in the back. It goes there, so that screws on there like that. That unscrews that box. So what I did, I pulled it through with a cable tie, ran it through, took the fuse cover off. Same thing with the cable tie, dropped the cable tie down there, pulled the cable up, and from there I ran the cable tie across, and it was just long enough to reach the other side of the dashboard. And then I pulled the cable through, and that's the cable there, which I'm now going to connect to the radio. And this cable here has to connect up to the reverse wire on the stereo, so I have to solder that together or somehow put a joint on there. Hope this helps you anyway. So what I'll do is I'll come back when I finish this and got it all done and show you any problems. Thanks for watching.